guys, and welcome again to this edition of Learning with Rich. So, in this topic, we are going to talk about documentations in the Revit Architecture Certified Professional Examination. So, we'll be continuing our discussion for our preparation in the examination. So, last topic, we have finished our discussion regarding collaboration. So we have discussed there what are the tools, what are the commands that is uh, being asked in the examination about collaboration. So this time, let us talk about the tools that or the commands that we need to understand or we need to know in the documentation part of the examination in the Revit architecture. Okay, so let's go ahead and start. So for the first topic, the first documentation tool that we are going to discuss is about creating and modifying field regions. Okay, so this is one of the tools that is being asked in the examination. So how to create, how to modify this field region. So we need to know how the field region works. Okay, so let's go ahead and start. So I'm going to create a new project here. So I'll just use a default metric template to create my project. And then after that, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create drafting view. Okay, so in case you do not know what is drafting view can be found on the view tab, and then you can see here drafting view. So it creates a view showing details that are not directly associated with the building model. So basically we use drafting view for detailing. Okay, so we can use that. It can create a 2D environment, okay, a 2D view. Okay, so if you want to do some detailing, so this is the best tool that you need to do. You need to create first the drafting view, and then from this view, you do your detailing. All right. So I do have some topics about drafting view, so you may browse my videos for more information about this tool. So I'm going to select the drafting view, and then I'm just going to name it. So let's say I'm going to name it detail. Oops, sorry. Detail of roof drain. All right. So I'll just go ahead and use the default setting here, 1 is to 10. And then after that, I'm going to select OK. Okay, so right after you select OK, you will notice from your project browser, you will see that there's the drafting view here. If you expand that, so this is now your drafting view. So this is actually the view that is currently open. So any view under the drafting view, those views are just 2D drawing. Okay, that's why you will notice if you go to the architecture tab, notice that all of the 3D modeling tools here are disabled. Why? Because drafting view is just a 2D environment. So we use the drafting view to create 2D drawings for our details. All right. Now, so what I'm going to do next is I'm going to select here the insert tab, and then I'm going to select import CAD. So I go ahead and select the import CAD, and then I'm going to select here the tool. Okay, not this one. I don't want that. So probably I'll just use this one. So this AutoCAD drawing. Okay, and I'm going to make it black and white. So probably I select the position here, auto center to center. Okay, so auto center to center. And then after that, okay, there you go. So this is now my drafting view. If you remember, during our discussion about collaboration, there is this one topic that I have teach you in about importing, right? Importing AutoCAD drawing. I have discussed that on our collaboration topic. So if you import an AutoCAD drawing in our Revit, there's an option there wherein you can actually explode it. When you select your AutoCAD drawing, there's an option there from the import instance, explode. So what will happen is, according to the definition, it disassembles the import symbol one level to its next highest level of elements. Okay? So for us to be able to explore our field region, so let me just explode first my imported drawing. So I'm going to select the imported drawing, and then I'm going to select the expanded here. And then I'm going to select partial explode. Okay, so I select the partial explode here. I click that. Okay, and then what will happen now to your imported CAD drawing? It will now becomes Revit text, Revit lines, Revit dimensions, you see, Revit numbers, see? So it's now part of Revit. Unlike before, prior to exploding the AutoCAD drawing, it's just a one block of drawing. Now that you have exploded it, it becomes part of Revit now. Uh, so to the point that the text there becomes Revit text, Revit lines, those kind of things. Okay, so now what I'm going to do here is, let's say I want to add some details here. Okay, I want to add some field region. Field region is actually the same idea as hatch in AutoCAD. You know hatch in AutoCAD, right? So the idea of hatch is actually the same as field region. Okay, so let's say I want to add some pattern here on this portion. So what I'm going to do is from the annotate tab, I'm going to select here this one. This is the field region. From the detail panel, as you can see, there's a lot of tools here that we can use for detailing. And one of the tool there is field region. So I'm going to select the field region. So it creates a 2D view specific graphic with a fill pattern and a boundary line. So we need to create the boundary line just like in AutoCAD. It should be close. Okay. So when you say view specific, you can only see this field region in the view where you have drawn it. So if you have drawn that in your detail of proof drain view, you will only see that field region in this view. If you had drawn that in level 1, you will only see that field region in level 1. So it's a view specific element, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and create our field region. So I'm going to select field region. And then from the properties here, as you can see, you have several types of field region. So, but before we select the field region type, so let me just create the boundary here. So this is just a rectangular. So I'm going to select rectangle here. I click that. And then I'm going to select from here. Okay, I pick here one for the boundary. And 2. There you go. So that's your boundary now. And then after that, the next thing that you need to do is you can select here the pattern. So let's say you want to have a diagonal cross hatch. So I'm going to select that one. And then after that, I select here finish. There you go. Okay. So if you want to change here the scale of your field region, you can actually uh, select the field region, which is this one. And then you can go to edit type. So this is how you modify your field region, edit type. And then I think you can go to the fill pattern here. You click that and then there's a ellipsis button there. So let us check out some of the options here that we can do for our diagonal cross hatch. So let me just select this one. And then there is an option here, edit fill pattern. So you can click that and then you can select here the uh, you can modify here your pattern. So like for example the spacing, so let's say I want that 1 mm 1 mm, so it will gonna look like that. You can also change here the angle, so let's say 40 degrees. Okay, and then after that you can select here okay, and then I select okay, and then I select here OK. So you will notice it will now modify your fill pattern. Okay, but just a tip, instead of overriding the fill pattern just like what I did, so you can also do this. So I'm going to undo that. Okay, then I'm going to select again the fill pattern. So I select this one and then I go to edit type. So instead of overriding my diagonal crosshatch type, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to select here duplicate, and then I can change whatever name that I want for the pattern that I want to create. So let's say I'll just put any name, custom. pattern. Okay, there you go. Okay, and then you can change the fill pattern. You can click that, then click the ellipsis button, and then this is the diagonal crosshatch. So instead of editing or overriding the original pattern, so you can actually create a new fill pattern. So I select this one. There you go. And then you can specify here your custom pattern. Okay, I want crosshatch. So let's say I want 30 degrees. Line spacing, let's say 2, 2. There you go. And then you just select your OK. Okay, and then after that, I can select your OK. And then I select your OK. As you can see, that it's now created. It creates now the custom pattern. So I can also change here the color if I want. So I change here the color. So let's say I want blue. I select here OK, and then I select here OK. There you go. All right. So just in case you want to change you want to change the pattern, you can always select that. And then instead of editing the type, you can select here the available pattern or field region here. So let's say solid black. That's the solid black. Okay. Edit types. Oh, sorry. So not edit type, but you can click the type selector. So let's say diagonal up. That's the one. What else? Ortho crosshatch. That's the one. Wood. That's one. Okay. And then you just click outside. So there you go. So that's basically how you create and modify field region. So if you want to modify the boundary of your field region, you can select the field region and then you can modify the boundary. Okay. If you want to change the boundary, you can modify like that, right? You just click and then you can modify. Okay. Or you can click the boundary of your field region and then you can select edit boundary. So what will happen is you will be going to the edit boundary uh, uh, contextual tab and then you can modify from here. Okay, so you can modify from here. And then after that, you can select check. Okay, finish. There you go. Okay. All right, so basically that's how you create and modify field region. So hopefully you learned something from this video. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, just put it on the comment section below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Now our next topic, so we are going to discuss about placing detail components and repeating detail component. So once again, this is Rich. Have a nice day.